Hello, Michael, and Happy New Year.
Hello, David. Bonne année.
Very good. Well, let's start with 2007. Now, from your point of
Yes.
view, what were some of the best and the worst business books?
All right. Well, I have to tell you, first of all, my list is far from comprehensive. There's a big agency that rates business books. They had 300 new titles in 2007, and from those they chose winners in 13 different categories. Well, I promise you, I haven't read all 300 books, but I will tell you about some of the ones that I liked, and also some that were recommended by Business Week and The Economist magazine.
So what did the magazines like?
Well, Business Week liked a number of books, particularly, I guess their theme was Chindia. You know, they liked China and India this year. One they recommended was by Edward Luce. He's the India correspondent for the Financial Times. He wrote, "In Spite of the Gods, the Strange Rise of Modern India." And another Business Week choice was Asian Godfathers, Money and Power in Hong Kong and Southeast Asia by Joe Studwell. He was the founder of the China Economic Quarterly. Now, one of the most publicized books of the years made the Newsweek list as well, and that, of course, was by, the former Fed chief, Alan Greenspan, who wrote The Age of Turbulence, Adventures in a News World, in a New World. Well, he made news, too. One more I want to tell you about from Business Week, because it was a book that we reviewed here, and that, of course, was The Black Swan, The Impact of the Highly Improbable by Nassim Nicholas Taleb.
Now, wasn't that the one you said was much of a philosophy book as it was a business book?
Correct. Taleb was a Wall Street trader, a successful one, who's kind of turned philosopher. And he made the point about the power of the unexpected and actually intellectually proved that you cannot predict the market. He says crazy things are going to happen, so you better prepare for them. Now, I really enjoyed that book, but it's a tough read. You've got to go through it section by section and concentrate all the way through, or you'll lose the thread of it. But it's excellent.
Did that make it your book of the year?
No, maybe it was a little bit beyond me, although I really liked the book. But let me mention a couple of others that made the Business Week list. They liked Boeing versus Airbus, the inside story. They also liked The House of Mondavi, the rise and fall of an American wine dynasty. Now, another one that I didn't read it, but of course it sounds so interesting. It's called The Billionaire Who Wasn't, How Chuck Feeney Secretly Made and Gave Away a Fortune. Now, Feeney was the guy who built duty-free shoppers. You see them in all the big airports. And he decided to quietly give away his fortune, and he did.
Nice. So what was on the Economist list?
Well, The Economist likes to be a little more international. They liked The Last Tycoons, The Secret History of Lazard Frères and Company. Now, Lazard Frères, of course, is the European investment bank to the rich and famous. Now, they also liked The Black Swan, which we just talked about. They also recommended two books, additional books, which we recommended here. And they were, you might want to know, Wikonomics. Remember Don Tapscott, How Mass Collaboration Changes Everything. And that was fun, because when I reviewed the book, Don Tapscott walked in. Of course, we'd arranged it. Don's a pal of mine. But that's not the reason I recommended the book. It really is a good read. He talks about how collaboration around a table like this is over. With the internet now, you can have the collaboration of thousands, even millions of people to, design Boeing jetliners or do Wikipedia. It's a great read, and it's full of eye-opening examples.
Did that make it your book of the year?
Well, no, with apologies to Dawn. It was a good book. But another book that made the Economist list and mine was this one, Super Crunchers. Why Thinking by Numbers is the New Way to Be Smart. Ian Ayres wrote that. He's the professor at Yale. It's about how the accumulation of large bodies of data is changing the way that businesses and people think, replacing intuition by database decision-making. It's all explained here. Great examples, great case studies. There's a chapter about evidence-based medicine, which is worth the price of the book alone.
So is that your favorite of 2007?
David, it is. Yeah, Super Crunchers is my biz book of the year for 2007.
So what are you looking forward to in 08?
Well, I've got a bit of a list here of things that look interesting to me. In the analytics area, there's something coming called Successful Business Intelligence: Secrets to Making BI a Killer App by Cindy Howson. Now, Tom Davenport, we all know Tom. He calls this book required reading. So on Tom's recommendation, it's certainly worth a read. Now, Martha Rogers, Don Peppers, they're consultants who've written a number of fairly successful business books. They've got a new one coming out which is called Rules to Break and Laws to Follow: How Empowered Customers and Employees Can Be Great for Your Business. Now, I'm especially interested in the empowered customers part of that because, you know, these days customers can express an opinion of your business, I mean, potentially to millions over the internet. So customers are more powerful than ever. Here's another one I'm looking forward to, a very snappy title. It's called Boom: 7 Choices for Blowing the Doors Off Business as Usual. Kevin and Jackie Freiberg wrote this. Now, apparently it's not politically correct. The book talks about the growing epidemic of dead people working, people who mentally checked out years ago but still, you know, come to the office to collect the paycheck. I'll look at that. Now, one more I'll mention before I go, and it's written by the CEO of Southwest Airlines, James Parker. It's called Do the Right Thing. After 9/11, I think Southwest did the right thing. Nobody was flying then, and they made 3 decisions. They said there'll be no pay cuts, no layoffs, and anybody who wants a refund on their ticket, doesn't want to fly, no problem, no hassle, we'll give them their money back. Well, you know what a success that Southwest has become. So by doing the right thing, that's something that I want to read about in 2008.
Very good. We look forward to hearing your thoughts on all of those, Michael. Thanks very much.
My pleasure, David. Talk to you again.